precious, wonderful friend, for the sacred, for the soul, for the most dependable, for this is the because of you, the only I can live on earth with the because of you, for the daring to believe I someday will able to be saved, but I'm the supreme to be personally because of you dare to believe that there should become a time and to put humanity's face in the faith and faith for the total changing world because of you, maybe for the shelf will come a time for the animal man, for the transformation that will be perfect and divine. Eternity unparalleled, friend, both, God, treasure, you for the both, for the others you need, for everyone, for the IQ need to realize, for the beloved, supremely needy, for the manifestation of becoming here on earth. That's all. Give me the wings of life. Use the transcendental place where these are ways and ways and ways. It's a grace and just find a place inside of you. Yourself and not stop and be afraid. Humanity ridicules you can find a divinity for the enlightened. This is the tale of the appreciation of the power for the nowhere for the itchy permit of the hype of the humanity would never have to find a maker. What does that really mean? To be an asshole. This is the appreciation which you can find the patience in your some upper like the up place, like a tree for the roots for this is the God passion comes down for the aspiration for this is one of many liberation that come down for this and you can find yourself in the conversion. They will not know the compassion, but I love you less because of brutality, I love you more. This is the place where you can only find the strength for the pessimistic, for the optimist, for the realistic, and this is the finding, the rising and the shedding of the eye, for this is the rising of the sun. Optimist and weather, but looking up at the sea for the kicking in their holes and realistic, in the face of the clouds, and you make me do this. And it's a part of your perfection because I love you with a smile beyond perfection, but it's the living, with the sacred, for the heart, for the infinite, for the perfection of all that's absolutely alone. Nobody knows who will be, and everybody with the understanding of the poverty beyond it more. Without the light began, the only to know the impression is what allowed me to begin for the peace and being in my Eve. God for the dozen, you brought me the life and none to declare. This is the perfection before one to declare, for this is the heart for nothing and else and be. No matter for the this to the this, and nothing but the this, and except for the flood and the purity of the life. Nothing else would declare the substance for the dance and the man of it's mountain else for the this, accepting and the strength for the end. And this is the heart for the excellent step, declare and accepting the constant and declare. For the soul, for the house, nothing for the you can be except for the compassion for the moon, supreme, heaven, God, destination, attribution for you can be the good. Flying far beyond for the command for this will be the progress for this is the one the understand the attitude of the beatitudes of wonder you can see in me for this is the far beyond the Christ you see for this is the beauty man for the more for the pain for the sick with the war for not to me the pain for the artist the more for the distance that's the star of the seas. This is the philosopher for me for the pain for the political for the thinker this made for the more for the pain for the God for the love for the regard beyond the life the command for this is the meaning of this mountain your destruction for the depression for the winter that when it comes to me you can visit my home and I'm there visit the store when I'm not ready to bridge and I'm not you can find me with God you can find me in the depression with the winter with the destruction of the summer. This is the constant where I guess this is the place where I can find it most of the time. Welcome to what I know and I can know it for the soul says I'm rare for the gas for this the God doesn't know always my heart says this is the place for the hospital for the incurable for this in the beginning with some suspicion in your mind. This is no difference between the depression that of the hottest moon. This is the difference in be finding the insecurity in the heart for the hospital for the incurable. This is the place for the between that difference between the body for the impure, divine for the realization for the last achievements of the heights and only the subject that you can be the constant rare guest is ignorant for one subject for the vital right of the enlarging for the heart for the ignorant for the one subject for the crying for the hidden to soul for the ignorant only one subject for the illuminating. And this is the when I rest in this is the place where I've been investing. This is the place where I rest and start my God life with the czar. I start my God life with the death. Invites me to the dance and the dance is the desert for the heart for the tornado over the night. I fall so for the lost and lesson for the lesson for the learning for the lesson for the equality for this is not telling me alive for this for the birthing for the false for the walls and caution false for ain't in the net. This is the internet for the realization reason to catch the bird for the go to divinity for the silver reality for the mind the vital place of realization always an impossibility for you to be a total impossibility for this is the place where you can find more for the knowledge that everybody can call yourself a great fortune but that everybody can be a brother for what we had to have in wisdom with the ever calling of a friend with the everything but we did not everything but the unconditioning of the transcendental throne held by the kingship of the true reality.
In that process of according philosophy, machine world, you cannot find and illuminate for the mankind. It is the message of the spirit that can transform, face, mankind. Unmistakable term for you can be declared. Discipline, ideal for the hero, for the steer, mind, humanity, both sure for the satisfaction of it may be the fulfillment of the source. Individual, awakened, illuminated, naturally, lead, guide for the rest, maintain, individual for the player, for the only pioneer, for this is the hoist, for the high, for the lofty, for the banner, for the awakening, for the illuminating, for the reality, for the spoken clear, for the empathetic turn, for the deep regards, for the inner resources. This is the who you find your self, for the understood, for the impatient, for the imitated, for the plague of the mind, for this is the nevertheless, for the mind, for the contribution of your fire. Remember yourself for the honor, enthusiasm, your revolution. In that process of according philosophy, in that process of according philosophy, machine world, you cannot find and illuminate for the mankind. It is the message of the spirit that can transform, face, mankind. Unmistakable term for you can be declared. Discipline, ideal for the hero, for the steer, mind, humanity, both sure for the satisfaction of it may be the fulfillment of the source. Individual, awakened, illuminated, naturally, lead, guide for the rest, maintain. Individual for the player, for the owner, the pioneer, for this is the hoist, for the high, for the lofty, for the banner, for the awakening, for the illumination, for the reality, for the spoken clear, for the empathetic turn, for the deep regards, for the inner resource, and this is the who you find your self, for the understood, for the impatient, for the imitated, for the plague of the mind, for this is the nevertheless, for the mind, for the contribution to your fire. Remember yourself for the honor, enthusiasm, your revolution is owner, your mortal book, and this is the offering of the actions and activities for the world, for this is the affairs, for this is the spirit, for the moving, in the guidance, for the shape of the world, destiny, for this is the end, the purpose of the outer action. Wait. Wait, you can't make it perhaps a way before you go to the persons of return. You offer to the world, for this is the world, for the life, for this is the abundance. You could be the property for the work, you could belong to the treasure. Create better kind, gratitude, your love, what is done. You're just a philosopher, you're just a fragrance for the hour. Your song to the soul, you can release the freedom. I will immortalize my soul is divine. No need to learn you. Please tell me the secret, remain good. I want to show you. This is the distribution for the boundless love and expanding horizons. Your soul for the vital. What do you do for the inner peace? The team in the fast, and this is the present, for the future is mine. Mine again, for not yours, for the vision, for the transcendent beyond. Your feather for the golden nest, for the reality is just multiplicating. Your transited beyond your soul, but they're complicated. One to your more for the heart, for the absolute secret. You will find the absolute truth. You are the love, and you can give it to you. Then I will have to feel this secret. I've done the living places when I go. I go to dealing with them. We have a place to see. I am the genuine God. Your heavens of the stars. Your reality and the progression to find yourself in the mountain. For the love to become. It's not that thing that you need to understand, for the only to become through eternity. I can find your source and place on the side of the savagery and savagery. Savagery for these are the songs for the soul and the savagery. There's nothing savage or conniving about this, for this is the wishing for the body. Under today for the living, for you, for the learning, for you to be good, for the singing and learning about the secret, for the expanding of the horizon. You can find the choice. My body, my mind, my soul. Dancing with the love of life, and this is the good and we'll find it for the reasons and the discouragement and no bitter complaining, for the afternoon, for the discouragement, for the constant competing, for the evening, for this is the inner discouraging. You see the brooding and breeding, you're only discouraging the fruit and dreaming, inner afternoon, for the inner finding, for the discouraging and the constant competing. This is the inner evening, for the discouraging, with the fruitless and finding, dreaming and finding me, for the absent, the mind and the bonded, for the negligent, the more the insecure, for the finding me, for the impure, maybe for the teasing and the reason why you cry, for the vision, the truth, the reality of the plan. This is the go between the you and the place where I live and the living, the underdeveloped for the heaven, for the existence of the valley, the shadow for the death, for the peace and escape. My mirror miss for this is the one that's being dependent for the change of the face, and fate, for the surrender, for the supreme, for the memory, the dream. This is the reality of the shore, the learning for the art of listening, the eternal student for the believing and the believer, the serving and servant, becoming, wish to be the silver dreams like my father with the golden realities. This is the heaven for the real hopes, arch over me for the surrender of the master of me, knowledge for the servant, for the me, for this together, for the planning, for heaven, for the real, for the realities, for the unfolding, for the engine, for the truth, for the heaven, for the real, the generation, the eliminating, for the electricity, love to assure, move through your world again, for the pure, for the thought, we move it without. This is no, for the quest for the satisfaction of the queen. This is for the infinite, for the quest for the this is that for the night for the presence and helpless and maybe miserable. Came for the bluebird, was deep down for the leveling and ounce. This is the mode, meditation for the shaking of the hands, for the God manifestation. For this is the shaking of your perfection. The failure is not falling down for the failure, for this I am live for the live for the heaven for the self, and I can fail for this. Until shall I fall again? This is the dancing of the life, and this is the off the rhythm with the unorthodox. And this is the part of life. This is the thousand of pride, the simplicity. For this is the friendship that I can find for the music. This is the selected poem. This is the one that I can use and I can never fail. This is the moment that I can find the details and I can never find that moment.
I wanna stay like this. I wanna feel it all. Every time kiss, I want your mother.
In that process of recording, philosophy, machine world, cannot find and eliminate for the mankind. It's the message of the spirit that can transform, face, mankind. Unmistakable term for you can be declared. Discipline, ideal for the hero, for the steer. Mind, humanity, both sure for the satisfaction of it may be the fulfillment of the source. Individual, awakened, illuminated, naturally, lead, guide for the rest, maintain, individual for the player, for the home, the pioneer, for this is the voice, for the high, for the law, for the banner, for the banner, for the awakening, for the illuminating, for the reality, for the spoken word, for the empathetic turn, for the regards, for the inner resource, for the divine, for the self, for the understood, for the patience, for the imitated, for the plague of the mind, for the nevertheless, for the mind, for the contributions, for your fire, for yourself, for the kind of enthusiasm, your revolution is only your mortal book, and this is the offering of the actions and activities for the world, for this is the affairs, for this is the spirit, for the moving in the guidance, for the shape of the world, destiny, for this is the end, the purpose of the outer action, finally, the point, profound way, perhaps the way before you, this person is offered to the world, for this is the world, for the life, for this is the abundance, give me the property for the work, you can belong to the treasure, create,
Hey, folks, for the most precious one, for praying for the sacred,
your
for the
love,
soulful,
what is
for the
done.
most dependable. For this is the because of the only I can
You're
live on
just a
earth, for the because of you,
philosopher.
for the daring to believe. I someday
You're
will
just a
able to
fragrance
be
for the
the
hour.
supreme to be personally to public
Your
because
song
of the dare to
to the
believe that there
soul.
should be the come a time and the
You
break he
can
manifests the
release
faith
the
and faith for the
freedom.
totally changing older because of whom you
I
maybe the
will
feeling shelf will come a
die.
time for the animal man for the
My
transformation
soul
of
is
will be
divine.
perfect and divine.
No need to learn you. Please.
Eternity
tell me the
unparalleled,
secret.
friend, both, God, treasure,
I
you for the both,
will
for the others you need, for
This
every mother, for the I you need to realize, for the beloved, supremely needed, for the manifestation of
Your
becoming
soul
here on
for
earth.
the vital, what do you do for
That
the
song.
inner peace?
Give me the wings of
The
light.
team in the fast.
It was a
this is the
transcendental
present,
place
the
for these
future
ways
is
and
mine.
amazing ways. You reason
Mine
grace and just
again,
to
for
find a
not
place
yours,
inside
for
of
the
your
vision, for
field,
the
for the anatomy,
transcendent
for those
beyond.
that dance,
Your feather for the goldenness, for the reality is just a
when
multiple.
humanity ridicules and you can find a divinity
Your
for the enlightened.
transcendent
This is the
beyond
tale,
your soul
the
with the
appreciation of the power for the
complicated
nowhere, for the intricate,
one
the height
to
of the
your
humanity,
more
but never
the
to find a
absolute
big hole.
secret. You will
What does
find
that
the
mean?
absolute truth.
Calling me an asshole.
You are the love and you can give it to you. Then I won't have to feel this either. I've done the work and the races one not go. I go to the dealing with them. We have a places to see. I am the champion of God. Your heavens are the stars. Your reality and the progression to find yourself for the multitude, for the magnitude, for the higher state, for the love to become. It's not that thing that you need to understand for this only to become to the eternity. I can find your source and place on the side of seventh year savagery. Savagery for these are the songs for the soul for no savagery. Knows nothing savage or conniving about this for this the wishing for the body. On it today for the living for the you for the learning for you to be good for the singing and none and art the secret for the expanding of the horizon you can find the choice. In time, my body, my mind, my soul, dancing with the love of life and the stucco and will find it for the pieces and your discouragement and no bitter complaining for the afternoon for the discouragement for the constant competing for the evening for this is the inner discouraging uses the brooding and breeding and only discouraging the fruit is the dreaming inner afternoon for the inner pine for the discouraging of the constant competing this is the inner evening for the discouraging with the fruitless and inviting dreaming and finding me for the absent the mind and defining for the negligent the more the insecure for the finding me for the impure maybe for the teasing of the reason why you cry for the vision the truth of the reality of the plan. And this is the gulf between the you and the place where I live and the living, the under the vault for the heaven, for the existence of the valley, the shadow for the death, for the peace and escape. My memories from this is the one, the swing to the pendulum for the this is the change of the face of fate, the surrender with the supreme for the memory, the dream. This is the reality of the shore. The learning for the art of listening. The eternal student for the believing and the believer, the serving and servant, becoming. Wish to be just silver dreams like my father with the golden realities. This is the heaven for the real hopes. Arch over me for the surrender of the master of me. Knowledge for the servant, for the me, for the this together, for the planning, for heaven, for the real, for the realities, for the unfolding, for the engine, for the truth, for the heaven, for the real, the generation, the eliminating, for the electricity. I love to shiver, we move through your world again for the pure, for the thought, we move it without. This is no, for the quest for the satisfaction of the queen. This is for the infinite, for the quest for the, this is the sad for the night, for the presence and helpless and maybe the miserable. He came for the bluebird, was deep within for the leveling announced. This is the mode meditation for the shaking of the hands, for the God manifestation. For this is the shaking of your perfection. The failure is not falling now. For the failure, for this the eye, for the live, for the live, for the happen, for the self, for the I can fail. For this is just hell I fall again. This is the dancing of the life, and this is the off the rhythm with the unorthodox, and this is the part of life, and this is the thousands of pride, the simplicity. For this is the friendship that I can find for the views, and this is the selected poem. This is the one that I can use and I can never fail. And this is the one that I can find the details and nothing different find them.